I'm Sallie.
And I'm Allyn.
And we're Sal and Al,
the Wool Slayers.
Welcome to episode 23.
Yay!
Yay! And this is our podiversary.
I can't believe it.
Technically, our anniversary is later in the month, like the 25th, but we have decided, because we're the boss of our podcast, that Fiber Fest is our anniversary, because our first two episodes were basically all about Fiber Fest, because we did it after Fiber Fest last year.
Yep, we started right after.
And we are fresh off of Fiber Fest 2018. Oh my gosh.
What an experience.
The best.
I just can't believe it. I can't believe how much has changed between when I started going to Fiber Fest, sneaking away for 2 hours by myself, not knowing anybody, zipping through. It was in Grapevine. And
tiny, much smaller.
So much smaller. Yeah. And now, and I know so many people now.
That's what I love Mine was more about the people than anything.
Yep. Me too.
This year. It was so wonderful. But we will get to that.
Yes.
First, what are you wearing?
Okay, so I am wearing, I'm pretty excited about this. It's a funny story. Okay, so my mother gave me this shirt for Easter. This was my Easter present, because yes.
Was it in an egg?
It was not in an egg.
That would be wonderful though. They make those big eggs.
That's true, they do. It would be great. Roll it up. And, yeah. But look.
I know, it's cute with the little contrasty cups. Right.
And the collar on the inside is like that. But with, I know you don't care about the shirt. We're here for knitting.
It's cute.
But so my mom was in town this weekend for Fiber Fest, and last week I had a friend over that is not a knitter, so I pulled out literally every piece of knitting I have in my house, and it was a huge pile. But it also prompted me to reorganize it.
Yes.
And store it. Fun. Yes, and store it better. And originally I had it hanging on like the sculptural hook thing, and they were all kind of piled. Right. And so I decided that they needed to go in a drawer, or I was going to hang them, but nicely so that they didn't get creases. Don't worry, no bumps,
Right.
But my mother reminded me of the KonMari method, that the enjoyment of decluttering, or in
the joy of tidying.
Yes, the joy of tidying up. Yes.
And you're supposed to hold every item that you own, and does it bring me joy? And if it doesn't, get rid of it.
Right. And I've done a lot of that. And really what it
doesn't count for people.
I don't know. There's a few. No.
Don't hold your husband and be like, because it could change the next day. Okay.
That's right.
Only for objects.
But what it has done is it's made me think about things before I buy them, before I bring them in.
Yes.
But in that method, she says that you should have everything rolled and in a drawer so you can see everything. Like, don't stack it, because then you only see the top item and the bottom items never get any love. So you roll it. Like, you would even roll your socks, you would roll your underwear,
That's not going to happen.
No, I hang everything. I don't hang my socks and underwear, but yeah, they're just...
Oh my God. Can you picture, like, all your little...
That's what you do with your kid baby size hangers when you don't have babies anymore. No, I'm not doing that.
Who has the closet space for that?
That, and I've always said that the worst job in a department store is working in lingerie, where you have to hang up the bras and everything just gets all tangled into each other. No. So she helped me, back to the knitting, she helped me roll everything and put it in drawers. I actually had a spare drawer, and it really took like a drawer and a half, and I probably should have had 2 drawers, because there's a lot.
They're a little tight.
Yeah. But so this morning
I just remembered the full title: The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up.
Oh yeah.
It just hit me, and I was like, I need to say it right now.
I know. It
sorry, go ahead.
And it was kind of life-changing. I mean, like, it just made me think differently.
Yeah.
So I put my shirt on this morning because it's new and we're podcasting, and I'm like,
cute.
I want to wear it. Well, my mom was still there because she left this morning, and I was like, I need your help picking out a cowl or shawl or something to wear with this, because podcasting, we need something knitted on. So and it's a little chilly outside.
Yeah, we can still justify it.
Right.
Next month we won't be wearing
this
knitwear.
Weekend.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Right. So we go in and we look at everything, and I'm just not seeing anything. Well, one was shoved all the way to the back because, like I said, we probably should have done 2 drawers. She was this one, and she pulled it out. I'm like, oh my God.
Perfect. I mean, it's
perfect.
Yeah. It looks like you bought the shirt.
Yeah.
Like you took the cowl to the store and went, oh, this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. My mother knit this for me.
Aw.
Years ago. Like,
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
I mean, the colors look like they were dyed to match the shirt. It's crazy.
I know. And my mom
That's
did
amazing.
say, she's like, for someone with all the knitted things that you have, I would be really surprised if you didn't have something that would go
right. And that's, yes.
And it's true.
Yes.
That's
how I am too. Well, and especially for me, I'd always feel like, well, because all my stuff goes together, because I love
the same
mint
colors.
and pink and, you know.
Right.
But even still, like, that is not your usual.
No.
So that's pretty crazy.
I know.
I love it.
I know.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, I'm wearing my only FO that I have this week, and technically I already showed it on our live show. Who watched it? OMG, you guys.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, kind of like no one's laughing at us.
I know, right?
Like, we had people laughing at us in real time, and like, where's the applause? Where's the laughter? So it was so fun. But we'll talk about it when we talk about Fiber Fest. Yeah. But so technically I already showed this if you watched the live show.
Right.
But I wanted to show it again because I don't have any other FOs. It's my suburban wrap. So that's the end of the arrow, and then so hard.
Right?
Which way do I go? Then, yeah, still went the wrong way. Sorry. This is the point of the arrow. Could not stop knitting it.
And did you said that you sold a lot of, you helped people
I
put
did.
together.
Okay, so I, when I was I use the word work real loose, but I helped Diane, Suburban Stitcher, in her booth Friday morning, and I was wearing this, and then she had 2 other samples in her booth, and a lot of people came in interested in it already. And then when they saw the samples, it was like, okay, yeah, that's gonna happen. And I had so much fun putting together 3 colors with people. Like, I would say, okay, well, which skein just speaks to you? You know, like, what color do you want to kind of go with? And then, so they would pick that, and then we would build the 2. Most people, you know, picked their dark, and then we would build them. Oh, it's so much fun. Came up with color combinations that I never would have ever thought of, but because we were starting with, like, their favorite, then adding.
So did anybody do Jon Snow and
I don't, not that I, a
really?
lot of people did predictability.
Right.
Jon Snow was not that I put together. I don't think I sold any Jon Snow, which is hilarious since I was wearing it, and I think it's wonderful.
I do too.
It's such a cool color. And here's a fun fact that Diane told me. None of the dyes, she used, I think, 6 or 8 dyes to make this color. None of them are gray.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
It's such a cool color. We keep talking about it. We keep going, oh yeah, Jon Snow, and we always call it a he, because it's
right.
We're like, Jon Snow is so pretty. He's good.
He looks on TV too.
Yeah. He really is. So.
Well, I have no FOs because
Okay.
I showed my color spell.
Yes. Technically, I don't either.
Right.
Since it's what I'm wearing, but.
Right.
Which is probably good because we are going to talk about Fiber Fest.
Yes.
A lot.
But I do have one thing to say about color spell.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I know. I know what you're going to say.
If you watched the live broadcast, you saw that I lost a pom-pom.
Devastating.
Lost a pom-pom off the end. One end.
A pom-pom that you can't recreate because you had perfectly weighed it out.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I had no more of that yarn.
You had no more of it. You had weighed it out and made 3. How many pom-poms?
2.
2 pom-poms of the same shape and size. It was devastating.
My pom-pom!
Knitters are the best! Someone turned it in!
Someone found it. They think they found it in the mustache booth, and somebody turned it into Lost and Found. And we went and asked about it on Saturday at Lost and Found. And I was like, a red pom-pom? And she just reached and said, here you go. And I was like, oh my God. I jumped up and down and like screamed, and I mean,
love it so much.
So excited.
I knew you knew you had lost it at Fiber Fest because you had it and then you didn't while we were still there.
Exactly.
So I was like, someone's gonna find it.
Yeah. And
whether they know it's ours or not, like it's gonna come back.
They're not gonna throw it away.
Yes.
Because
knitters are the best.
Knitters are the best. But now that I'm holding it, look, doesn't it look like a cone?
Yeah. Well, and you know that Red Nose Day is coming up.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I was just at Walgreens yesterday, and they had all this red nose stuff, and so yes, I thought of it too because I just saw those posters.
And I don't know how it came off because
it was.
I tied that thing on there so well, and
I'm just glad it didn't. I had a pom pom fall off of something and it fell apart.
Oh,
so I'm glad that you did a good job, obviously tying it. It didn't fall apart.
Man, I pulled and pulled on that, and
yeah. Well, I had done mine too.
Because my pom-poms do. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. And
luckily, mine was a small one, which might be why it fell apart though. Because small pom-poms are hard to make.
They are hard to make.
So yeah, my pom-pom fell off and then fell apart, and that is sad.
Yeah.
Because it's like 10,000 little, and you're like, well, okay.
Yep.
So I'm very glad that you found it and it's intact.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, over the moon.
It's going to get tied on that shawl so good.
I'm going to have to figure out how because I don't have
to like thread through it, I guess.
So. Oh, maybe that's what I do is use thread. Use actual thread to do it. I can do that.
Okay, so do you want to just start with the knitting, I guess, like whips, and then we'll go into Fiber Fest.
Okay, whips. You want to go first?
I'm only going to show one because after I got done with this, I like dabbled. I did a couple of blanket squares, and I did like a couple inches on Amelia's panda socks, and I did worked on my chevron cowl, but none of it's worth showing.
Right.
Because it was like this, you know.
And I will say, being at Fiber Fest cut into my knitting time.
Oh my gosh, I did not hardly knit at all. I knit in one class, and that was it.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that was only for part of the class because we were actually, you know, we had to use it wasn't just listening.
Right.
So the only whip I have is something I've cast on since last time. And this is my sock I worked on in the class with the, my needle came out.
Oh no! It pulled right out, didn't it?
I was being rough with it. It's fine. I'll fix it. But it's just a vanilla sock. I'm probably going to do an afterthought heel because I love how it like bullseyes. This will give me something to do while you're talking.
Right.
This is Nomadic Yarns Urban Garden.
Did you ball it like that?
Nope. This is how it comes. In like a, what do they call them? A gobstopper. And the reason I'm knitting it now is because I needed one that was already wound.
Oh, right.
So I was like, oh, thank you. So, right. I was in a hurry.
I love those when they're wound like that.
It's nice to have a couple on hand. You know, sometimes I have the Knit Picks Felici. It's a good one. But I was like, oh, why haven't I knit it? Let's do that. So I needed the good vanilla sock for Fiber Fest knitting. And so
the colors are great.
Aren't they great?
Yeah,
it's like a raspberry pink and a
mossy
awesome gray and then that acidy green. So yeah, that's all I've got for whips. I'm not going to show you my 4 seconds of progress on all the other stuff I touched. You're welcome.
And I normally don't knit during the podcast because, you know, every now and then you have to look down and I don't know, I just feel weird doing that. But I'm trying to get to the end of a row, a gigantic
so you can
row, so I can show it. So I'll move on to the next thing to show. And we'll get to this. Okay. So one thing that I did knit on a lot, and I can't remember if I showed this cast on last time.
Nope.
Okay. I did not then. Okay. I cast on for March because I haven't done April yet. So this is March. Color Spell was my February cast on, and I finished that. This is March's cast on, and it is the Fathom Hat by Vera Valimaki. And it has this beautiful cable.
Yeah, so this, did you say it's your interpretation?
Oh, yes. My 2018 interpretations goal of casting on a new project each month from interpretations, any of the interpretations books. Oh, of course I'm going the wrong direction. There we go. It has this mirror image. There we go.
Okay.
It has this small cable panel and then texture for the rest of the hat. And I am knitting it out of Independence Fiber Mill, their Texas Twist, in the Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain yarn.
A good color.
That I picked up at the Knitting in the Hills retreat.
It's like a steel.
Yes.
A steely blue.
And I love it so much.
It looks great.
I
With
love
that texture.
Yes. And I was a little worried when I first started knitting it that the texture wasn't showing, like it wouldn't show the cables enough.
It's wonderful.
But it is so, it's going to look great. And it feels good. I actually talked to them at Fiber Fest quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I love the feel of this. It almost, because you can really feel the twist when it's pulling through your fingers and when you're knitting with it. And she said that she does a tight twist when she's spinning it, or not spinning it.
You can see it. Like it's really.
Yeah. But it
that's cool.
It feels like silk cording, which you would never knit with silk cording because it's too stiff and, like, why? But that's what it feels like. And it just,
Is that the same base as the one we got in our goodie swag bag? Okay.
It is. What she did was she over-dyed that yarn with blue.
Gotcha.
Because that yarn is undyed.
Natural gray, that gray silver. Okay,
yep,
cool.
It's black and white.
Well, that makes me really excited to knit with it.
Yeah. And it feels good.
That texture is cool.
Yeah, and it has a slippery, silky feel in that, like, I almost feel like there's still lanolin on it. I don't think there is. Like, my hands don't feel lanolin, but it just has this kind of.
It does feel
glossy,
different, doesn't it?
Yes. Oh,
cool.
I love it.
Good.
And she had some amazing white in her booth that just glowed, like and shiny, like it was silk, but it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah. She said it was the merino.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, their stuff is cool. I didn't get to talk to her. I rode the elevator with her.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I honestly did not shop that much, even though I was there all 3 days. I didn't, and anytime I went to her booth, it was full.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, I didn't get to talk to her.
Yeah.
But I was really excited to see that whip, so
yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I did probably 2 inches of it yesterday during 2 games. So it'll be finished.
Yeah.
I'll probably finish it this week.
Is that
during
a sport
practices.
weight?
It is.
Okay.
It's sport weight.
Okay.
But I feel like it's sport weight. It's definitely not fingering, and it's not a heavy fingering. It's sport weight.
Okay.
I am a little concerned about size because, I keep making small things. So
hats are surprisingly hard.
Right. But I did tell my mom yesterday when I was talking about it, because I can't try it on, because if I do, all the stitches will come off the needle. But I did tell her that I was, I'm using Erin's term.
The Cinderella.
The Cinderella. It will fit somebody in the kingdom.
In the kingdom, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it's a great blue. Like, a guy could wear it, a girl could wear it. I have all this big hair, so hats don't always fit over it.
I feel ya.
Yeah. But I think I will make it a little deeper. Like, it calls
so
to
it
go
could
to
be
7
slouchy.
inches. Well, I don't necessarily want it slouchy, but I think that's why hats seem small on me, is I don't make them deep enough to handle all this hair. So, I'll take that a little longer.
Yeah, heads are surprisingly, like, you think, well, we all have a head-shaped head, but no. Some people's heads are, like, deeper this way, and some people's are deeper this way. It's weird. Hats are weird. Hats are hard.
I know. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. And then the other whip is my Shisui shrug, which
That's what you're trying to get to the end of the row.
I have not much more. So we might have to come back to this one. Because I want to
Sorry, I wish I had a whip I could show, but to give you some time.
Right. But I do we don't really have a segment for this, but I'm super excited about what I put together for my next cast on for my April cast on. So
like needle adjacent.
Yes, it's totally needle adjacent. So I brought that. Okay. Can I talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I love that.
My next cast on is going to be Fine Tune. The cowl by Joji Locatelli, and I showed the minis. I bought the pink yarn, the Allegria, and Allegria from Monos, right? Monos Studio.
Allegria, I don't know what it's called.
And this is going to be the main color, and I had bought the 4 minis.
Yes, and we had a little color class.
Yes, I just wasn't
on the podcast
really happy about it. So I went back into my stash and decided I was going to use leftovers of any color between white and gray. And, like even dark or black. Any color between white and black.
Gotcha.
And so I was doing that, and I have lots of them. And they are
fun. Very small.
I even have like an extra snitch wing I made. I don't know why I ended up with an odd number of them. But so it's literally random bits of grays and white.
Yeah, it's just like a fade or
right.
like a gradient.
Exactly, a gradient. Yeah. And I won't worry about if I have an even number, because you're supposed to go the 4 colors in a row. Well, if I end up not having enough of one of these, then whatever. It'll all look good.
Yeah.
But my mother recommended, and I think she's right about this, she said that I needed a little pop in there. That this pale pink with these is not
contrasty enough?
Right.
Okay.
And so she recommended that I pop in these 2 little balls that I have.
Ooh, fun.
That is Mad Tosh Beach Bonfire.
Yep.
And it's hot pink with some black specks. And then this is Spun Right Round Shock Star. And it is mostly white with little specks. And since it's just such little sections, like it's literally a stripe, I think it'll look good.
That'd be cool.
So
make it your own. You're the boss of your knitting.
Exactly, I'm the boss of my knitting. So this is being cast on this week and going on vacation with me.
Awesome.
Yes. I'm super excited.
Well, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Me too. I am so excited to see it.
Yes, that's going to be cool.
Yes. Oh,
I've had that one in my queue for so long, and I can't decide what color I want.
I know.
What colors I want.
It's hard, and I mean that's why he made hers with gray and then picked 4 colors because you can, gray's a pretty good neutral.
I love gray.
So, one thing I forgot to say about the Fathom hat with the Independence Fiber Mill, I can cable without a cable needle. And I tried it. I think that because it's on such small needles, I couldn't do it. Like it was too hard to keep, it's just such a little loop. It was too hard to keep it from disappearing. So I've been using a cable needle. So I
usually find that it's better to just use a cable needle. Now, depending on the cable.
Right. Well, these are simple too.
The whole point of cabling without a cable needle is to make it easier on yourself. And if it's not making it easier on yourself, don't do it.
Exactly.
So that's my philosophy.
Yeah.
You're not less of a knitter if you use a cable.
Right. Right. But I had just done
Depends
something.
on my mood.
What had I done just recently that I did use? That I did it without a cable needle, and it was really nice not using a cable needle.
But it depends on the cable.
This one, man, I couldn't do it. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
got
still
a little bit left.
Yeah, I still have one more section, and it's brioche, so
Well, I can show.
You want to show your Grace's cases?
Yeah, I'll show my Grace's. I'll show a purchase. Yeah. So this is technically my Mother's Day present that Mother's Day present comes from Fiber Fest every year. Because it's a month before.
Right.
So this was my big purchase. And I'm pretty excited about it. So, it's Grace's Cases is the maker. Oh, and it's blown out. There we go. Look at that plaid.
I love that plaid. Oh. You chose really well.
And it wasn't the one I was planning to get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess but when I saw this one, I was like, oh.
Well,
I mean, the other one, it was more subtle. And it was kind of a blue, which, you know, you would think I would get the blue. But I don't know. And I still like both of them. But this one just kind of spoke to me. Okay, so this is the deluxe. And she has tons of different options. This one works for me because I have an interchangeable set and not a ton of fixed. But I do have some. So I need a spot to, you know. So this is for the fixed. Right here. And this will probably fit all of my fixed. You know, this is not going to work for everyone, but it works perfectly for me because that's pretty much all I have in fixed. Because I got my interchangeable set so early in my knitting that I didn't collect a lot of fixed. Okay, so that's for those. And there's a little spot so you can write your sizes. And also, like, some interchangeables, if you want the real small sizes, like, they don't have them or whatever. So that's, I think, what they designed it for. But for me, it works for my few fixed. Okay, so we're going to skip this part for now. And we'll come back because this is the best part. And so this is for DP ends or crochet hooks or additional tips. And then this middle part is your interchangeable set, okay? So your tips, your cables, and again there's size labels, and then there's a little extra pocket for like your tightener or your like for mine are high, and so you don't use a key. It's just they give you those little grips, like a rubber pad that just to tighten. So I can keep those in there. So these are cables, tips. There's a pocket right here for, I mean, there's always extra, let's be real. Like, we've got cable stoppers or whatever. And there's another one on the other side of the middle part. Pretty big pocket. But look at this.
I think this is the best
part. This is the best part. So this part zips out.
Oh, not yet.
And I'm doing it backwards.
Yeah.
But
other side.
And then this part zips out. I'm going to have to put it down. Then, okay, so I took them out. Then they zip together.
Oh my gosh.
To make, so if you're, you know, going on a trip or whatever, going to knit night, and you want to take your interchangeable set with you. What?
That's brilliant. Just brilliant.
And that's why this thing is worth every penny. It's expensive. I'm not gonna lie. Like
I will tell you, it looks.
But it's gonna
manufactured. It does not look handmade. But it has to be handmade because it's so custom.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is so.
There is not a stitch. I mean, and there is like they are not cheap like on their materials. This is, you know, I don't know if it's real leather, but there's like a leather back there for gripping. These are elastic. This is like almost like scuba materials. So when I put a needle in there, it is not going to fall out. Like it is gripped. I'm in love.
That is so
Look at that. I'm a sucker for organization. So I feel like this is going to like change my life. And even though it's for Mother's Day, like Mitch was like, just keep it. Just put your needles in it. I don't want to hear about it. Like, because I'm going to be sitting here
surprised they're not in there right now.
Well, I resisted because I wanted to be able to show it without like,
worrying.
Yeah, I really think I could sit here and be like, and they wouldn't fall out. Right. But let's not risk that. Let's just not. Because if there is a mess to be made, I will make it. And it just feels so good. It's like padded and interfaced and look at that.
That's really great.
Look at that leather right there. I mean, I don't think it's real leather. It's not. It's more like car approach. Yeah. It's so nice.
It is great.
It's one of the nicest things I've ever purchased. I'm super impressed.
They are just so well made.
Yeah.
That's what's so impressive to me.
And she had, like, if you want it, she had a travel size, you know, like if you didn't want to take a bunch with you, you just wanted like a weekend's worth of, you know, a knitting retreat worth of needles. She had a little travel one. She had one for DPNs or crochet hooks that was pretty small. She had one this size, but then it didn't have the middle insert that comes out. And so, you know, the price, it was cheaper, you know, if you wanted, this is like the most expensive one.
Right.
But it's the only, like, I won't need another one for the rest of my life.
That's a fully loaded Escalade.
Right. This has got the leather seats in the sunroof and the DVD players. But if you want, you know, and this has the butt warmers. If you don't want all of that, I mean, she had the, you know, ones just for, like, just that would hold an interchangeable set, or one that would just hold some fixed. It was very customizable to what works for you. I would have loved to have not bought the deluxe one, but that's what works for me, so I just sucked it up and bought it. So I'm in love. This is one of my favorite things I bought.
I love it.
It feels so good. It's so nice.
It's so neat.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I had a good needle organizer, but this one blows it out of the water. So I'm pumped.
Okay. I'm trying to use Sallie's Try It On tubing.
I know, it's weird.
Too small, isn't it?
It's kind of, it might be too small. Because remember, I bought mine for lace. And it may be good because for me, I had trouble getting the stitches on.
Okay, let's see.
What are those things that the Yarn Harlot told us about? I need some of those.
Oh, I know.
They're like clamps or whatever.
Yes, but I need to be able to stretch it out.
Yeah.
What I should have done was, these are interchangeable needles. Again, another reason to use interchangeable. I should have taken the tip off and put another
cable.
Mm-hmm. Because I have a lot of stitches on here.
But can you try that on?
Yes, because this is the top.
Okay.
So I at least can see.
I was like, there's nothing to try on, but
right,
because it kind of looks like a shawl right now.
Right, it does.
Because it's basically a wearable shawl.
It feels like a shawl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm too scared. I'm
definitely
too
not on camera.
I know.
Y'all don't need to see that.
No. And
but you can just show it.
It's brioche, and I don't know if
You're welcome to
skilled.
take that home with you and.
Well, no, because I can. Thank you. I appreciate that, but I'll just do the needle.
Okay, the cable.
Okay. Add another interchangeable cable. Okay, that was fun TV.
We might be editing that.
But my Shisui shrug.
Yes.
I have done.
Oh, it looks so good.
A lot of work on it. So this is the neck. This is what would be up here.
The back, top back.
All
right.
It would be up there, and I have sleeves. So this is the front.
You have the start of a sleeve.
I have the start of the sleeves, right? I have where to go. There.
Yeah, it's just
that's
pulling
my
on the
sleeve,
cable.
Yeah. And it goes further down than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It goes about to my bra strap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably up here higher than it would be.
Yeah, because of your cowl.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh, it goes past my bra strap. Yay! And it's not even blocked, so it might even grow.
Yeah.
Because brioche grows like that.
Oops, wrong way.
I know. But
don't strangle yourself.
I'm still loving the yarn. I finally got to where I have it memorized.
Yes, you were knitting on it in class. I was like, okay.
I got like 3 rows done in class, which is crazy.
That's really good. Yeah.
They are long right now. They're about 390.
Do you eventually take off first for the sleeves to?
Right.
That'll help.
That will definitely help.
That will feel amazing.
Yes, because I get up to like 450 and then I take the sleeve stitches off.
Is that going on vacation?
I don't think so. It's too big and bulky.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. It would be great.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't blame you.
That'll have to wait. I mean, if I get that finished this year, I will be impressed.
True. It's a big one. I don't think anybody just busts that one out.
Right. But you know what's interesting? It's not, like, when I think about how much yardage it is, it'll be 4 skeins.
That's not that bad.
I mean, Suburban Wrap starting point was 5.
Yeah.
So I think it's mostly that it's brioche, and I can't knit brioche in the dark. And so I don't knit it as often.
Right.
Whereas with the starting point, there were parts of it I could do in the dark, and so I could keep going on it.
Yeah, there's no garter sections in your...
Exactly. Well, half of it is garter, but it's divided by brioche. So, you know. Yeah. But, so really it's mostly that it's the technique. But I'm still loving it. I can't wait to finish it.
Well, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
And I love that, because, you know, you've started it once or twice before?
This is the second time.
Okay. And so I had never seen it.
I know.
And so it's so nice to really see the colors. Oh, it's so pretty.
Right. And I'm a little, so I will need to fade in the second balls. And I'm not quite sure how to do that with brioche, so there might be some swatching in my future. Don't love swatching.
But you also don't love taking back 4 rows of humongous brioche. So
no, you're right.
Swatch will happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all your whips?
That's all my whips.
It's Fiber Fest time, you guys. So I had the best time.
I know. I had so much fun.
Yeah. So you started with shopping?
Yes.
With your mother?
Yes. So my mom and I got there Friday, probably about 9:30, and we didn't have any classes. And Sallie and I had our 1:30 live broadcast. So my mom and I walked around. Sallie was in Suburban Stitcher, and I think we made it around to everything that day. We maybe had 30 minutes after the live broadcast because I had to get home, get kids. But so we made it around to everything that day. I think I bought 1 or 2 things. But I didn't focus. Yeah. I was so, I was nervous and anxious and excited about the live broadcast and then seeing everybody. And so I feel like Friday was a complete blur.
Yeah, it was. A blur is a good way to describe it.
I just couldn't focus enough to make a decision about anything.
I got there super early and helped Diane finish setting up her... Oh, so pretty. And then I helped her sell yarn from 9 to 12. And then I walked around. I went and we both packed lunch. I went and grabbed my lunch and ate it really fast. And then walked around and just got nervous about the live. But I did manage to buy some Mustache. And Mustache was right next to Diane's booth. And so that was the first place I went. So, and I already showed this on the live show. Sorry. But I bought, I'm really, really into her affirmation collection. Just, I guess because of I've been doing a lot of self-affirmation with the whole weight loss thing. So I just love it. And I cannot wait for her to come out with more. So I got I Am Strong. It took me about 15 minutes, not even kidding, which felt like forever, to decide which affirmation I wanted. But it's so pretty. I Am Strong. And then I got Rainbow Yo-Yo, which is one of her newer rainbows. And I got a little mini, which I think I might use as heels and toes. I don't know if there's a color on. I don't think there's a color on this. But it's
icy.
It's icy blue with darker blue. It's really pretty. And I always have tons of other minis too that could be thrown in there, but self-stripey goodness. So that's what I got. Oh, I did buy a pin also that I showed. I showed it on the live one, but I'll show it to you. I'm assuming some of you didn't watch the live one. If you weren't interested, but I got this pin. It says, "Nevertheless, she knitted." I bought that at Cannon Hand-Dye's booth, but it's Nerdbird Makery. Nerdbirdmakery.com if you are interested. She had some other cool ones too. If you want to shoot over to her website, we'll see what else she has.
Should I do my mustache? since you just did yours?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I have more mustache, but that's from Saturday. So.
This is just the mustache show. Okay.
I'm okay with it.
So on Friday, I don't remember what I bought Friday. Oh, I bought my bag.
Yes.
I bought my bag.
That you also showed it on the live. That's how I remember it, because I'm like, well, I showed this
I know,
on the
what
live.
did I talk about on the live? So I bought my bag.
Oh, it's so cool.
And it is from Ethel Funk, which, do they have online? I think they might have it online, but she goes around to shows.
Yeah.
And it is reclaimed canvas that somebody stamps with this was a Cotton Club image, and then leather. And it is my bag because I kind of
pack rat.
I never leave without one project, but sometimes I like to have 2 or 3 because you just never know what kind of situation you're going to be in. Tote. Exactly. So
and your purse stuff too can fit in there.
Yes, and so I can either have it separate in my purse and it's just knitting stuff, or I can put my purse in it and it's knitting stuff. So my knitting stuff goes with me everywhere now.
So cool. I've looked at those and looked at those and looked at those.
Well, we saw them last year, and there were 2 that I wanted, but I saw them early on, and I didn't pull the trigger, and then they were gone.
Yep.
So that was one of the first ones we went to this year, was like, we're gone.
Such a cool booth.
And it has lots of pockets in it, so like I have our Wool Slayers cards in there, so like anything knitting related is staying in that bag. And
see, I do a mini version of that with my field bag. I have my Wool Slayers cards in there, and like my lotion and my ink pen and it's like a mini kind of, but then I also do have a tote. I'll show I got a new tote, but I didn't get it at Fiber Fest, so I'm going to show it next time. Because remember last year, Fiber Fest episode was so big we had to
split it into.
Okay. The other thing I did buy this right after our live show at the Yarn Crawl booth.
Aww.
Their little logo. It looks like a armadillo. He starts as a yarn ball and he becomes an armadillo.
Oh, that's so
cute. That's for the DFW.
Is that their new logo?
Mm-hmm.
Adorable.
That's for the DFW Yarn Crawl, which is also near and dear to our hearts. So
someday I'll get to go on it.
I know. It's close to my heart.
I know. Well, but this year school's starting so much earlier that I think it's the first week of school. So I might be able to go.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me last year, I think.
Yeah, because you had Nolan going in.
Yeah. And then they had some free pins too. I got a little pin, free one. I had to buy the other one, but this one was free. And I think that's all I got Friday. And then neither one of us made it to the talk, but I would have loved to. It's just hard for me. And I knew I was going to be out late Saturday night, and so I was just like, that's the ask. I don't like to ask too much of my husband. I don't,
Right.
I don't want to ruin the magic. Because right now he's very willing to cover me. I don't want to abuse it. So we did miss the keynote speaker, who was Franklin, but I got to meet him the next day in my class, so I was happy. Did you have any other Friday?
Not Friday.
Okay, well, let's move on to Saturday.
Okay.
I had 2 classes.
And I had 1 class in the afternoon.
Yeah, the same class I was in.
Right.
Yeah.
We were together.
It was so fun.
I know. I don't ever want to take a class without you, Sallie.
Right? Luckily, I had one of our friends, Sarah.
Oh.
Sarah Carpenter. She was in the Franklin class with me.
Oh, nice.
Otherwise, I was going to be by myself.
Oh.
So, or not by myself, but, it's nice to have someone but it's even better when it's someone who sits next to, we've sat next to each other and talked for hours and hours and hours now. So, it's nice to have your buds.
Yeah. So my mom and I didn't get there till like 10:15.
Oh, really?
Which I was not thrilled about. I wanted to be there at 9 o'clock.
I left my house at 8:30 in the morning and got home at 9 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh my gosh, that's a long
My kids were like, Mommy, we forgot what you looked like. Mommy had a fiber day.
Yeah.
So you got there and
we got there at 10:15
late and shopped.
And my whole goal was to go slower. Like, let's actually go into every booth.
Right.
And so I I kind of started zooming again. And my mom's like, what about this one? No, that's fine. No, you said slower. I'm like, okay, yes, you're right. Let's go in. And then I ended up buying something in that booth. Like, why am I not
I'm the same way.
Stopping in.
It was humongous this year.
It was.
Which almost made me shop less because it was just, like you said, you'd be like, well, I don't have time to go in all of them.
Right.
So it was huge.
It was
I don't even know.
Great, though.
It was awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then we had our class, and then my mom and I, there was one row we hadn't finished, so we finished that up. And then my mom went home, and I went to dinner with Sallie.
Yeah. So I went to class. I did the snips and zips with Franklin, which
I haven't heard about this yet, other than
it was really fun. Which we had stoken before. We did a steeking project for a little cup cozy about a year ago. So I had done that and like folded my ends back and did, all that before. But it was nice to do it with him guiding me because I kind of was just kind of guessing based off of written instructions last time. So, and it turns out I was doing it right. But it was nice to be confirmed because you sometimes have it in the back of your head like, I don't even know if I'm doing that. So he had us, I showed my homework, I think, last time. He had us cut it and sew down the two edges. And then we ran out of time because there were so many great questions. Like, people were asking a lot of questions, and it was not annoying. Like, they were, sometimes sometimes you're like, shut up. But it was a great class. So I brought home the materials to sew in my zipper, and I feel he did a demonstration of it, and I feel super confident.
And it's a 3-hour class.
It's a 3-hour class.
So if you ran out of time, there was
a lot of information. So he gave us, technically we should have had time to at least start installing the zipper, but we didn't. But it was fine. I really feel confident that I can do it. And so it's nice that I have this. And so what I might do is actually wait and practice this when I have a project coming up. We'll see. I may just get a wild hair and decide I want to install that zipper. But it also could be a good thing to keep for when I finally make my hoodie or whatever that I want to install a zipper in. It was a great class. Franklin was the first knitting celebrity that I ever I didn't know knitting celebrities were a thing and then I found Franklin before I found Stephanie Pearl McPhee. Wow. Because of Cast On, the podcast with Brenda Dane. He would go on, because he's a writer. So he would read essays on her podcast, and I just fell in love with him.
And he is a great writer.
He's a great writer, and he was reading them because hers was an audio podcast. And so he's a great storyteller too. His voice is great. And so I just was like, who is this guy? And then so I went down the rabbit hole, read his blog from start to finish. He doesn't really blog there anymore because he has so many other writing projects. For people, as he put it, well, these people pay me, so I don't really do the blog anymore. I'm like, totally understand. So if you have the opportunity to take a class from him, I would highly recommend it. He was wonderful.
Or even go see him speak, because I did go to the Friday night event 2 years ago when he was there, or was it last? No, 2 years ago. I think it was
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a great event.
He's wonderful.
Then I saw him at Maryland Sheep and Wool, which that was the way they do it is it's free and just it's first come first serve, and he was great there, and he's just very entertaining.
He is
He's
very entertaining. I loved it. I just could have stayed in there all day. I loved it. And so then I ran down and I did buy some stuff. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I did grab a freebie from Mustache's booth, but at the same time, I bought from the sale wall. So what she does is when she has not a full skein, she weighs them out and prices them based off of that. So it could be a half skein, it could be a 7/8 skein, it could be a quarter skein. And so this one's 27 grams, and it was $8, and it's the Martian Rainbow, which it's a really vivid rainbow that fades into it. It doesn't stripe so much as it kind of like fades into itself. And then I got a 52-gram skein, so a half skein of the White Album Disc B, which is varying width stripes of white, black, and gray.
And that's from her Beatles.
From the Beatles.
Series.
And I kind of think,
oh, yes.
this would be a rainbow heel in this. Like a shorty sock.
Sallie, that's brilliant.
Right?
That's brilliant.
So, and then this is going to make a awesome, this is a sparkle remnant. It's going to be awesome in my blanket.
Oh, that's great. And what I didn't realize about these sale ones is they're still perfectly matched.
Yeah, and
like there's still two.
And she had like brand new colors too. It was not like it's old stuff. I mean, some of them are old. I've wanted this for a while.
Right.
But she had even words of affirmation skeins too. So that's pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
And then I also bought in her booth, she had some tuft woolens, and I'm kind of obsessed with.
You are.
Because they smell so good. Like my whole area back there smells good from the other bar of it that I have. And this one I couldn't resist. It was Texas Sunshine. Smell it? Can you smell it? It smells so good, you guys. We need smell-o-vision. I love it. Amelia didn't like it as much.
I like it.
But I like it because to me, it's like you washed your clothes and put them in the sun, because it kind of smells like laundry detergent, but also sun and lemon, and I don't know. I like it. So
yeah,
I think I'm just gonna stick it in my stash and let it smell up my stash.
Smell it up.
Smell it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you buy anything?
I did.
Okay.
So on Saturday,
you hit mustache.
Yes, I hit mustache.
Or mustache hit you in the face.
But first, so on Friday, going into Fiber Fest, I wanted a ChowGoo interchangeable set. And I have been wanting it for a while. And at one point, they were less expensive on Amazon, but I didn't jump on that.
And that changes.
It changes, right.
With
Somebody
the
buys
wind.
it, and
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I feel like my mom bought a set of Knit Picks carbons on Amazon, but she didn't buy them from Knit Picks. Like, it was a third party.
Okay.
I feel like she got a seconds.
Oh.
Like, they are not good.
Uh-oh.
And Knit Picks, she realized a couple of them aren't good early on, and she reached out to Knit Picks, and they were great about replacing them.
Oh, that's good. That's good, because they could have said, sorry, lady.
They did say, well, you didn't buy it from us, but we'll be happy to replace them. Well, since then, she's found more that are not good, and she feels bad. So she's not asking them to replace them. So, and we love ChowGoo. So I knew going in.
Nice.
And so since I couldn't...
So that was on your list.
Right. So that was on my list. And ChowGoo does sell on Amazon, but theirs were the same price as the retailers. And I wasn't willing to take the risk of buying it from a third party because it still was expensive, even if it wasn't as expensive. Right. So I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm just going to buy them.
Good for you.
Well, West 7th Wool, who's been really... good to us, and I like supporting local, so I went into the booth and was like, do you have your ChowGoo interchangeables? Well, they didn't have them on Friday, but they said, we can bring them tomorrow. If you're coming tomorrow, we can bring them tomorrow. I'm like, I will be here tomorrow, please bring them. So my mom and I each bought a set of the small size. Yes. From 2 to 8.
That's perfect.
Yes.
That's what you need.
And unlike Sallie, I already put them away. So they're not in here.
That's funny.
As great as this case is,
it's a good case. Or maybe use that as like a travel case or something.
I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. Is that this will be my travel case, and I'll just put in the ones I think I might need while I'm traveling. That's a great idea. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. Because when you were saying that Grace's cases had those, I was like, oh, I should have gotten one.
But you got one.
I have one.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I've already put mine in my fishing lure tackle thing, and it just, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have them.
I'm so glad you finally, you have been talking about those for a while.
And I've been using other needles that I just don't like as much for the past 3 or 4 months.
So this will just be finally.
Yes. And I was even holding one of them. I made a cable needle for the fine tune cowl. And I was holding it. I'm like, oh my God, they're just so light. It's like air. There's nothing here.
If I need a fixed needle, like I said, I don't buy a ton of them, but if I need a fixed, I buy Chowgo. But my interchangeable set is Haya. But if I ever get another set, I love my Hayas, but why would I buy another set of Hayas?
Right.
I would get a Chowgo set for sure.
Yeah,
awesome.
And there are ones that are way more expensive out there. There are ones that are less expensive. But I feel like they're a good price for
really good
quality needles.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I love them. So then, while I was there, I'm just going to pull my bag up here.
Just pull it up. Just pull it up.
Okay. So while I was at West 7th, I have been wanting these stitch markers for a while.
Oh, yeah. Those are cool.
These are the Cocoa Net.
Don't dump them.
I know, right? But I love Liz. I want to be like Liz. Okay, these are the Cocoa Nets colored stitch markers, and they're not showing. They're metal, which doesn't really matter to me because they're made to be used on her Knitter's Keep, which is
the magnet watch.
Yes.
Thing.
And I'm not going to use that, but they're...
Oh, yep, you did it.
I did it. They're these gorgeous colors, and there's 6 colors. There's 10 of 6 colors.
And they're different sizes.
Well, I bought 2 sets.
Oh, okay.
I bought the small size, which goes up to size 7, or it says 7 on there, US 7, which I think means either it fits a 7 or it's the size of a 7.
Gotcha.
We'll see. And then I got the larger size, which goes up to 13.
Cool. They're pretty.
They are gorgeous, and I use them. So in the Fixes In class with Stephanie Pearl McPhee, she showed us stitch markers that she uses that have letters on them. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. She uses them to designate different things to do when she's knitting. Well, I use color. So for me, if I need to do a make one right, I put a red. If I need to do a make one left, I put a blue. I know
you have
I assign my colors to what the things are.
It's kind of how everybody knows in a chart that this symbol means this.
Right.
For you, you know what your colors mean.
Exactly.
They're your version of a chart.
Exactly.
Cool.
And 6 colors is plenty.
Right. Oh yeah.
There's not that many different things I usually have to do in a project. So I was super excited to get those. So that was West 7th Wool.
We love West 7th Wool.
I do. They are so great. And, they were... Yes, they were going to the shop anyway and bring, but it's one more thing to have to remember.
Yeah.
When you're
That's
already,
really nice of them to do.
Yeah. So I was just so grateful because it is hard for me to get out.
You got Martian Rainbow too.
I got Martian Rainbow too.
I had no idea.
Yeah. My mom got it also.
Yours is bigger than mine though.
Yes, mine is 55 grams.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love that color.
I know. It is just so vibrant and beautiful.
It's so vivid, isn't it? I mean, it is a really cool rainbow.
And so I didn't really pay attention. I mean, it says perfect self-striping sock must match skeins on the label. But I was thinking, surely not.
Surely not. I know, right?
That small you put up, But I went ahead and wound up my mom's. Oh. Because she's going to cast on right away and use them. And they're just the tiniest little balls, and they're so cute. And they're rainbowed.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
So I fell down in the mustache booth with
just kind of went nuts. Yeah.
Because I don't need any more arm warmers. I don't knit socks. What am I going to do with stripes, But I love the small ones because I could see doing shorter mitts, there's something, I really wanted these small.
Well, and is that Pippi?
This is Woodstock.
Oh, Woodstock. I because it's if you really want to color, but you can't really buy 6 full skeins because it's $10,000. Right. It gives you a little taste.
Yeah. And this is Jelly Belly.
Oh, I love that one.
I got 35 grams of Jelly Belly.
That one's really cute. I think Prairie Girl Susie bought that one.
It's just precious.
It's so cute.
I don't normally go for pastels like this,
but that's a good one.
It's just precious. This is The Last Jedi.
I like that one. I like them all.
I know.
Why even bother saying it?
Right?
I like them all.
I love them.
Our focus is on point today.
I'm telling you, it's this new.
Although then it just didn't focus, but it's focusing on the yarn, which is way more important than my face.
Exactly. Oh, and The Last Jedi, I got 31 grams. This is 52 and a half grams of Campfire.
Oh, that's one of her kit ones.
Yes.
Very cool.
And it was with
it's
a
so
bag.
you. When she was showing that on her podcast, Little Skein in the Big Wool, I thought that looks like an Allyn because of all the orange.
44 grams of sesame.
I love sesame. Did you see it knitted up?
No.
It's kind of like Kama Sutra. It's like tons of different colors. It's so pretty.
Okay, and last one. Oh, another Last Jedi. I got 46 grams.
I almost did
Last
that.
Jedi.
I almost bought two partial skeins of that Beatles one because it was like, why not? But oh, it's so happy.
So
if I ever have another wedding, this is your
bouquet.
Yes.
I love it.
I mean, it would hopefully be to Mitch, like renewing our vows or something. This is gonna be my. How happy is that?
Seriously. That's what I love about being in her booth. I love color.
It's joy. It's pure joy.
It is so wonderful.
Yay,
you love it. And I don't know, my mom.
And see, you never would have bought full skeins.
No,
because that's your whole budget.
Exactly.
So that's perfect.
I get to enjoy the colorways.
And that's a half of a skein is still a lot of yarn,
right? I could make a shorty sock.
Yeah. Or you could put those with a neutral and have that be a contrast on a shawl or whatever. You'll find something.
I know I'll find something, and even if it's just I get to enjoy them.
I was about to say, or you just look at them for 5 years and just before you knit them.
I just love them.
I'm cool with it.
They're like little balls of candy to me.
Yes. I don't eat candy, so they are my candy.
I love them.
Yeah.
Okay, but I just realized one thing that I forgot to talk about. One of the most exciting things about getting the new Chalgu needles is it finally allowed me in my hoarderness. I'm really not a hoarder, but
compared to me, you are.
Well, yes,
but you don't disturb me, so it's okay.
No, I'm not scary.
No.
But when it comes to knitting supplies, it is really hard for me to let go. So
that's the only thing I allow myself to hoard.
Right. I hoard knitting stuff.
All the knitting
and fabric. All the crafty stuff. So I allowed myself, and my mother did too, once we got our new sets, we got rid of all the crappy needles that I was hanging on to just in case.
The plastic ones.
There are some in here that I'm just like, what the hell was I thinking? I will never knit with this. Like,
where'd you even get it?
Most of these are from the 70s. I mean, look at this.
I was about to say, that's a vintage. What are you going to do with them?
My mom said I should bring them to Camp Wool Slayers and put them on the table, but I felt like that was just bad
insulting.
Karma. Yes, like I cannot give these.
Some people might like them though.
Well, that's what she said too. She's like, you can give them with the caveat that they suck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use them. Yeah. And it's mostly because the cables are stiff. And then also these kinds, this was popular. These are probably boy.
Oh, but I have a pair like that. I hate it.
I hate it.
I have a brand new like Addy.
Oh, really?
And it came and I didn't realize it was that, and it's awful.
So yeah, some people might like those, but
I use it.
It makes me use
irritates me.
Hands in the wrong.
Good for you. This makes me so happy.
I know. So granted, this was my mom and me, but a lot of it was me.
Yeah.
Because
I was
hoarding it. So I don't know. What do I do with it?
We could ask Erin. Our friend Erin has a yarn club at her daughter's elementary school, but who wants to make a little kid struggle with that cable?
That's my thought too.
Yeah. We'll ask her, but you may just donate them.
To who? Goodwill?
Goodwill.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. If you're interested, let us know.
I know. I will mail them to you. Like, they're awful.
Are you going to make a wreath or something out of them? I don't know.
Oh, I should look into that.
Repurpose.
Okay, I'll go into Pinterest. I'll let y'all know what I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was that. Do you have more from that day?
I only bought one thing at the end of the day, I guess before we went to dinner. No, I think I bought this Friday, actually. I bought this Friday. So I bought a skein. Oh, where's my pattern? I bought a pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold, you might have. Hold, please. Okay, so I did buy this skein of DK from my girl, Diane, Suburban Stitcher. And it's Merino DK in the Mixtape Romance color. It's superwash merino. And I bought this to make this, the Interknit Cowl. And it's by my other girl, Prairie Girl Susie, from the Prairie Girls Knit and Spin podcast, which they were, along with Cast On, they were my first podcast that I ever fell in love with, listened to in its entirety. So I was so excited to meet her because I've just loved her forever. And I just knew we were going to be besties, and we totally are. Builder, go away. So Allyn will put in a better picture, but it's just this one skein of DK, really pretty cowl, and it has a picot edge and buttons.
Did she use that yarn? That color?
No, but it's similar. It's because I was like, "Ooh, do you think this is too wild for this? Because it's got lace." And she said, "No, look at the original. I knit it with variegated." So yeah, I feel pretty. I think this is a good color for me, like next to my. And since you wear this cowl kind of up,
it is a good color.
It's a good pale brunette color. So. And then I got the pattern. Oh, you know what? Cut out that. Oh, because that's my code. Yeah. So don't show where I showed it.
Although I should finally figure out how to blur it.
I'll just download it really fast too, so that they don't steal my code. But yeah, so I got that I bought that Friday night, I think. Oh, while I'm talking about it, these were one of the last things I bought. On Sunday, but I'll show them since it goes with this. I took this back with me on Sunday, and I took Amelia with me, and she helped me pick out the buttons. Yeah. And so I got, we were like, the yarn makes a statement. Right. The buttons need to be just as wild. So they're not wild, but they're very shiny. Mm-hmm. I think they're really they look like abalone shell, but they're not. They're like fake abalone shell. Really? So they were cheap. They were cheaper. Oh. Because a real abalone button would cost an arm and a leg, but I got all of these like for $6 or something. Huh. And I bought 5 of them. I was picturing like a more like a wooden, like very low key, but these are kind of crazy. And Amelia, there was one button that they had there that was this, but it had pinks and purples, and Amelia was like, "Oh," but luckily, because I was like thinking,
but a little too matchy.
Luckily, it was like a 3/4 inch, and I needed an inch, and so she was like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh, my goodness." Right. I mean, it's for me, but I told her I would let her help me, and then I was like, "Oh,
why did I do that?"
She's 9. She likes unicorns and. So, I don't want to lose my button. So anyway.
Okay, so then the rest that I had on Saturday was I bought the handy gauge ruler, the Bud. Since I'm starting to do sweaters, I should, have an easier way to measure gauge. I'm really excited to use it because I always, I have the cutout things where you can place it down, but then my eyes go cross-eyed trying to count them.
Thank you.
So I'm happy to have this.
You are not alone, my friend.
I know, I cannot be. Okay. I feel like I've shown this yarn 100 times and bought gray yarn for it 100 times.
This time's for realsies, guys.
This time's for real. I finally found the right gray yarn. This is actually gray. This is for the Flyway shawl by Vera Valimaki, which will be cast on this year. And this is gray, but I wanted it to just be the palest gray. Almost white, but not white, because I don't want orange and white. And I found finally
it's lovely.
Perfect. And I'm going to mix.
What is the color?
So the color is called Crystal. And it's Hedgehog Fibers soft yarn. And I bought that at the Hill Country Weavers booth. And I saw it Friday, didn't buy it because, got to look around some more, make sure it's right. And was a little panicked going back Saturday that they would be out.
It wouldn't be there, but
it was there. So I was very happy about that.
All right.
Yes. So that's done. Okay. So then I was in Suburban Stitcher booth looking for yarn for the peeping cowl by Joji Locatelli. Again, interpretations. And we put together some really neat combinations. So I'm going to put pictures, because I took pictures of it. So I'm going to put those here. But Friday was overload, and I couldn't make a decision.
Yeah.
So then Friday night, my mom and I were talking about what we're going to shop for the next day. And I was like, well, I have the peeping cowl. And she was like, and you don't have anything in your stash. So I reevaluated my stash. And I did come up with these 3. This is Lost City Knits that I used in the Raven colorway. It's purple and black, and I used it in my Moon Glow. Mm-hmm. Almost called it upwards.
Every time.
Every time. This I've had forever, and it's Louis Gems. And this is Leftover Gray. And I have another ball that is very close. Mm-hmm. But the way the cowl is, it'll be fine if they're not exactly. So I found these 3. So my mom's like, where's your color wheel? Get your color wheel. I'm like, okay, get my color wheel. I have a color wheel. So I got my color wheel out, and we looked at what's opposite from violet. What's opposite from violet is yellow. So I looked on my wall, and I didn't have yellow, but I had a Yarn Carnival Theremin that I bought last year, and I bought it specifically to go with another variegated that I had. So I didn't want to break it up. Mm-hmm. Like, I wasn't going to poach that.
Right.
But it looked really good.
Really good.
So I was like, okay, so...
You knew what to look for.
I knew what to look for. Okay. And it's a yellow-green. It wasn't bright yellow. But, because bright yellow would be LSU. And...
Well, and I don't even like yellow that much. But I wouldn't even call this yellow.
Yeah, so this is a yellow-green. Yarn Carnival did not have Theremin. I would have bought more Theremin. This is from Fiber Optic.
It's cool.
Which I love Fiber Optic yarns. They
it's called Absinthe.
Yes, the color is Absinthe.
Which is very accurate.
Yes, and it's 80% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, 420 yards in 4 ounces. And
I like that.
I have loved that booth for years now. So there we go.
Very cool. Very you.
Yes. I think it will look great, and I'm super excited.
That's going to be a fun one.
It will be a fun one. That might be my next one after.
Ooh, okay.
I know.
Because I want to see it, so I fully support that.
So, and then that was it.
That was it?
Once I had that one, I was like...
Done and done.
Done. We're good. Let's go. So, and I didn't go on Sunday. So
I know, I couldn't believe it.
I know.
But see, now that I see how much, like you were done.
I was. I would have loved to have gone back.
Just for the fun of it.
Right.
But yeah.
And hang out or whatever, or do stitch marker swap. But I had sports activities.
And you had your mom.
And my mom was here. And so, yeah.
So I did go back on Sunday. I took Amelia just for a couple hours, just because she does love it. And I'm trying to, she's learning the world and the knitting world. And I don't do the stitch marker swap, but she loves it. So I just pulled some out of my collection and was like, here, you can swap these. And so she did the stitch marker swap, and she had a great time. She got some really cool stitch markers. And I did a little bit more shopping. And this was all, it was on my list, so it wasn't like I was...
You don't have to justify it.
But I was really proud of that. This is the most restraint I've ever shown at Fiber Fest. So Friday we did our live show. Saturday after class we went to dinner with Diane and Prairie Girl Susie. So Sunday, I got there around 1:32 and with my daughter. And we did go over and we both grabbed more freebie minis from, that's mine, from Mustache. And she got a little pinky white one. Then I wanted to wait until I had her with me because I bought this at Stitches from Stunning String. And it's a contrast color and then a pom-pom to make this ideal, you know, the idea is get a worsted weight to go with it and make this hat or these mitts. So I brought this with because we had yet to match it up. And I let her choose from their amazing rainbow wall. God,
they have every color.
So cool. Mm-hmm. And she is my child, and she chose teal, mint, whatever you want to call it. They call it aqua ice, which aqua is yeah. How stinking cute is that?
Yeah, that looks so cute on her.
And she instantly was like, "That's it." And I was like, "Are you sure? Look at this." And she was like, "No, I like those, but I love the aqua." And I said, "Can I steal it?" And she said, "Don't stretch out my hat." I'm like, "All right." Oh, but the best part is, okay, shout out to Liz Gregorian who runs the Fiber Fest. She's the one on the scooter, scooting around. I was in the booth. I was in Stunning String, and I was, and she's the one who asked us to, go do the live show. Like, I just love her.
Yeah.
She scooted into the booth. She has the best job.
I know, right?
I love her so much. So she drove her little scooter into the booth, and sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Sorry, I can't talk to you right now. I was in line to pay for this, and she goes, "Hey, come here," and she gave me an envelope. She was like, "That'll help with that." And I got vendor bucks, which is what she does. She drives around and hands out vendor bucks. It was so cool. And so she gave me $20 in vendor bucks. So I paid $3 for this.
That's awesome.
I was very excited. And Amelia was like, "That's so cool." So thank you, Liz.
How fun.
I consider her a friend of the podcast. She's great. And it just made the day. It was so fun.
Right.
It's very fun to be chosen
Yeah.
for vendor bucks. And then Stunning String is so great. They give you a free pattern download.
Nice.
With every purchase. So I still need to go redeem that. But and then a couple of other little randoms I bought. I bought some snips, which I'm usually anti-snip. I've had several pairs of these, and they always fall apart, or they don't cut, or they only cut if there's tension on the yarn, and I get so mad. Mm-hmm. But these were demonstrated to me to cut yarn that's not tensioned, and they won't fall apart, and they were only like $4. So, and I needed one of my tape measures. It's a Vera Bradley one. And so it's like kind of puffy. So it takes up more room in my little Notions tin. And so my Stunning String scissors don't quite fit great in there. So I got these for that because I love that tape measure. So yeah. So I got those little snippies. And they're not the puppy snips. The puppy snips are the ones that I don't enjoy those. They don't work for me. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or something like that, but and then the other, literally we were walking out the door, Amelia and I. It was 3:55 p.m. The market closed at 4. There was 5 minutes left. I had no intention of buying anything else. We were leaving. And I passed the, what booth is it? I don't think that's them though. No, it was like Whimsy Stitches.
Oh.
And they had these little wraps per inch tools.
Oh, I missed those. That's what I wanted.
Yep. And this was another thing that was on my list.
But show the other side.
Yeah. Look how cool this is.
Oh, that's what I wanted. I forgot about that being on my list.
Bummer. I would have grabbed you one. So you wrap your yarn, mystery yarn around, and count how many wraps you get. And there's even a guide that tells you what it is based on how many wraps you get.
That is brilliant.
And this is from Fiber Nerd Designs, if you want to go get one.
I might have to check that out.
And it's so cute. Look at the little face. Look at it. It's so sweet.
It's adorable.
So, and then Amelia grabbed a little enamel rainbow pin from the same. I was like, oh my gosh. 5 minutes left and we're still spending money.
Right?
But we had such a good time.
It really was so great.
Oh, it's just...
Fiber Fest, for me, was the first time that I felt like a knitter with a capital K.
What? The first time?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, not this Fiber Fest.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, God, no.
I was like, what?
No,
okay.
no. But, like, when I could go to Fiber Fest and see all these other yarns and know what they were and
what you could make with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, just...
And it's nice to see all your people feel the same way. Because, you know, like, out in the world, you don't really run into a lot of other knitters with a capital K.
Right.
Unless you're at knit group or, you know, you don't just run into them on the street.
Right.
Or if you do, you don't know that they are. So it's nice to just be in that room and you know that everyone in there has the same passion, you know?
Yes. And it was, I don't know if you noticed this, but being there on Friday versus Saturday, the demographics were totally different. Mm-hmm. It was so interesting. Like,
and then Sunday, it was basically dead.
Really?
I mean, well, it wasn't, but because it was so big, everyone was spread out.
And you had been there Saturday.
Right. And since it, you know, and I was there when it was literally closing.
Right.
So it had emptied out, and it was just so cool. Like, it was, it's a completely different group on Sunday, too.
Yeah. I loved it.
I loved it.
I love it. I look forward to it
I took
so
video,
much every year.
We'll pop in some video of the Fiberatory. I took some video because we talked about it, but we weren't really able to show it on the live episode. But
so many people came up to us like, oh, I watch you, I love you.
So great. Oh if you said hi, thank you so much. Like, it was
so fun.
Yes.
So fun. I mean, it gave me all like happy feel good so much, and I just had the best time.
And a special thank you, just a special shout out to Diane of Suburban Stitcher, Susie of Prairie Girls, and Stacy of Mustache. Like, you guys said some really nice things to me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was. My buckets are full.
Yes.
Like, I just feel so full of inspiration and love and just all the mushy gushy. Yes. I just love it.
I know.
Which actually brings me to my wool gathering of the week. Here's my wool gathering. And we're not going to end with this. We have, I think we have a couple other things. But I'm going to go ahead and do my wool gathering. Okay. Fiber friends. Get you some. We had a technical difficulty and ran out of memory.
Right.
So we're just going to finish it really quick we're on Alan's phone.
Right. First time ever.
So if we suddenly switched sides, that's why. Sorry about that.
We don't know what.
And I don't even know where to look.
I think it's over there.
Okay, but we just real quick wanted to give away the prize for the knit-along, the Knit Your Blankin Sock Blank knit-along. And did you have anything else before I do this? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the winner of that was Caitlin, who is Ash Knit Stash. Yay. And we know her in real life. So I will be giving that to you whenever I see you next.
And we saw her this weekend at Fiber Fest.
Congratulations. Yeah. And so she got the bag.
And she made a pair of socks using gorgeous...
a double knit sock blank, which is very cool. And they faded from teal, which obviously, or turquoise. Right. Obviously, I love, to a white. And they were really pretty.
And it was a pattern by our friend Stella.
Right, yeah.
I had it in my head a second
ago.
Yes, Socks This Way.
So it's a very local giveaway.
Right.
And she got scissors and a progress keeper and a bag. Congratulations. And I think that was it. Sorry about the quick cut, you guys. Bear with. Right. Basically, we love you.
Yeah.
And This has been such a fun ride,
Yeah.
and we're not done yet.
I can't believe it's been a whole year.
I know.
And if anybody, DFW Fiber Fest is worth coming in town for. Like, they have great instructors. They have great booths.
Everything is just quality. Just everything's great.
Yeah. So if you can make it here, do it. It's one to put on your bucket list. Exactly.
Because we're going to be there.
Yes.
Yeah. But even if you can't, even if you're, try to find your equivalent near you, because you are going to meet some of the best people in the world.
Yeah.
And you need them in your life.
Yes. So, until next time.
Yeah.
Because we're going to keep doing this.
That's right.
Don't forget to slay.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Straight where we're supposed to be.
Are you asking about my sexuality?
No, I would never presume. Oh, did you need that? You want me to stop moving it around?
I'm like, it's already hard enough.
Right. You want it bigger again? That's what she said.
I always want it bigger. Bigger is better.
Bigger is better.
God, this window loves me.
Right? I know.
Because I think it's because I have those white curtains that kind of filter. It's like a light box or a light, those
oh yes,
big fancy
screens over the.
Are you? Come here.
Like closer. Hi.
I couldn't see your other shoulder.
My hair is deciding to do some crazy flip right here. Whatever. Hi.
How's that? I'm such a crooked person. Like, this is me natural. Look at how crooked I am.
That is, you are crooked.
I know, I'm trying to fix it with yoga.
Are you sitting on one hip wrong? Like I find when I get in the car because
maybe
of the
one
way
butt
I get
cheek's
in.
Bigger.
I bruised one of my butt cheeks yesterday so badly, like I decided I can't sit
How
on
did she bruise a butt cheek?
I got into my mom's car awkwardly and sat on the seatbelt thing.
No, that's the worst pain in the world.
It hurts so much.
Why does that hurt so much? Anything like back here or on your butt, it hurt. I think it's because of the fat, how we have that layer of fat as women. It hurts so bad.
Well, I used to go to a chiropractor and get massages, and she would, and it hurt so much, and she said it's because the nerves, something about the nerves being closer to the skin, or the muscles are closer to the skin, and I'm like, but I got so much padding on there, and she's like, no, it's actually not.
But I feel like my fattiest areas hurt the worst.
Right?
Who's texting me? Oh, I'm sorry you hurt your butt.
Thank you.
I'm not going to kiss it.
Thank you.
I always say that to Nolan when he falls down. I'm like, well, I'm not kissing that thing, and that makes him laugh. Anytime he's crying, I have to talk about farts or butts, and to make him laugh, and then he snaps out of it.
He's so cute.
Or his stinky feet. He thinks stinky feet are the funniest thing in the world. So he'll be crying really freaking out, and I'll be like, oh my God, Nolan, your feet. And then he goes, and I'm like, yes. That's all I have to say.
See, he's your best audience, not me.
He really is. He really is. But no one's as funny to him as himself.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I found a new way to wear this that I was going to try. Because it made it kind of... And I don't usually wear them around my...
Right.
But it looked really cute. And I have no idea how I did it, but it was really cute because it showed the arrow? Not the whole arrow, but it showed a lot of the different textures and colors. And this shirt is a little wild with this wrap, but
you know what? It's the right colors.
But I'm okay with it. Yeah. I decided I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mixing paisley and plaid.
Yeah, stripes and polka dots.
Right.
So, do you want to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have
So
lipstick on my teeth?
You're good.
Hopefully it wouldn't show up, but you're good too. When you did that and then you put your eyebrows up, I was like, oh, evil.
Yeah. Nolan gets his eyebrows honest. He gets them from me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because we have such a problem remembering to introduce ourselves, what if we change the intro?
Okay.
And if we do it the same way every time, we won't forget.
Okay.
So I was thinking you could... No, hold on. If I say, hi, I'm Sallie.
And I'm Allyn.
And we're Sal and Al.
The Wool Slayers. Oh, add the Sallie and Allyn.
At the beginning. And then that way, if we do it the same way every time.
Yes.
We don't have to remember.
That's right.
Because that's hard for me.
Yes.
You like it?
That is great.
Okay.
Yes.
And you don't think it's too, like, clunky or...
No,
okay.
no.
I liked it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let's do it for realsies this time.
Okay. Let me sit up straight. I feel like I'm slumping over.
Okay, there's like a spot on your screen, and I thought it was
oh, yeah.
It was on my teeth.
There.
I was slightly horrified. Okay.
Okay. You go first.
Okay.